The S&P 500 daily cloud chart shows the baseline 26 bars back concerning this lagging line to be at 4498.50 to start the day on Monday. And the top of the cloud for current price is at 4506.40. So that is proving to be some combined resistance there just in those two alone. And the qualified supply line was canceled as price ticked way lower than that and even closed below it. So that's the end of that there. And there's still this one here, 4515.34 to start the day Monday, and a close above that will qualify that level. And I still haven't figured out what went wrong back here. If I have a setting wrong, because this qualified cancel supply line was actually disqualified, and then when price came back around and got under it here, that was the end of that, and it gave it a qualified cancel supply line, so I've yet to figure that out. And this ongoing demand line to start the day will be at 4417.19 for Monday. And again, price could open below it and then close below it, and that will qualify that. It could gap down before it and then close underneath it, and that would qualify it. Or if volatility starts really picking up, it could get above this close, 4505.10, and look like we're getting out of the cloud and then close below it, and that will qualify that level also. So 3 ways to do it. And the fast QQE ticked down. It's still pretty well above the slow QQE, which has been going flat for quite a long time here. So it's not out of the woods yet, but it's really in no danger of going under that immediately. Probably not until it gets under the cloud, which for Monday, the bottom of the cloud is at 4386.61. And price ended the aftermarket hours on Friday the 16th at 44.51. So even though price sliced through most all of those moving averages from Friday, the 20 simple moving average and 50 EMA did halt the decline, and then the baseline for current price is right under those two there. And the 50 simple moving average 3 is at 4482.51, and the 35 simple moving average 2, 4469.98, and the qualified momentum down happened on Friday for 50% propulsion, and it could be an easy confirmation bar for Monday. All it has to do is open below this close, tick lower than this low, and then close below the close of this bar from the 15th. So it's all happening on this bar here. And if the baseline remains pretty good support along with that 50 EMA moving average 4445.71, that could be a real nail biter for Monday. If it gets under the baseline though, then it's pretty much a given that this will be qualified and confirmed. And here's the 50% propulsion exhaustion down that is now qualified. It could be confirmed for Monday. And the fast trigger up and pressure up at 1954 for the fast trigger and 1534 for the pressure up is still below the oversold 25 line, and the slow trigger is still below the overbought line. So status quo for a while, and the fast trigger needs to get up above 25 before anything happens for any upside move. And the zigzag indicator got a little steeper for the down pivot that happened over here. It's now at the bottom of this bar just about. It was up here, so the more it goes down, the steeper the angle will be. Go back to here, and then we'd have to really be concerned about going under the cloud and then getting a tick lower than this low over here for the bar on the 18th. And the D wave, down wave 3 will print down there, and I believe the 4 would shift over. We'll have to wait and see on that one, not sure. And then the arc for 0.50% is around that area, 4281.99. So that's moving up towards my 4300 target. We're a tick under 4300 into the 4200 zone, and I would consider the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level for this D wave up wave 4 projection, which is at 4327.98. I would consider that satisfied anywhere in the 4200 zone, as it might not get past this arc down to at 0.50. You can see what happened to the 0.38 here. It nailed it here for price and then shot up, and price made it back in between that zone of the conversion line for current price and the baseline current price, and it closed at 4450.32, had a tick as low as 4447.21. So jot that low down there. So that low for Friday tipped out of and under the complete zone for range 1 and range 2, and it goes back a long way, back to August of 2021. So around this area here is where that 44.45.21 was first designated, and you can see it's been good support and resistance. Even though there's a myriad of whipsaws, it still halts advances and support. So I still call that entire zone and all of those horizontal lines in there valid, but this is still a no man's land between the two upper and lower zones here. So I'm going to zoom in a bit now. So if it does break down out of that upper zone here, this uptrend line here from March 28th, 2023, so it starts there. You can see a nice hit got nailed here. They all nailed that line. This one here just went slightly below it. This one here pretty much nailed it. So that's a good line there to keep an eye on if it makes it back into this no man's land. And that level for Monday is at 4421.24 right there. So there's pretty good support around the bottom of that top zone and the beginning of no man's land. So there is the baseline for current price at that level, and not showing is S1 at 44.32, so right under there. And the mid band of the Bollinger Band is right there too, 4433.95. And also not showing around that area is a weekly ongoing demand line that we really only use as support and resistance. And in this case, it would act as support hopefully at 4431.89. So that's right underneath this Bollinger Band mid-band. And the band that price is closest to is this lower Stark band, 4409.05.